Well, hello my lovelies, and a bit of a diversion from the usual videos. I'm not speaking as I usually am on the motorcycle. I'm overdubbing because this is a video about installing heated grips. Well, not installing heated grips, there's plenty of videos on how I installed my heated grips, but none about how they're actually wired in. So I wired mine in. I'm a bodger, so it's really ugly and horrible looking, but it should give people an idea as to how to do it. So this first initial bit is just me riding home from work, and the reason why I didn't do a live commentary when I was installing was because the house across the road was having like cavity wall installation being drilled in at the time, and all you could hear was brrr. I put up a clip at the end as to exactly what it was like and why it was just no damn good. So anyway, back to heated grips. The actual physical installment of them on the handlebars is fairly straightforward. I'm a mechanical fudger. I'm really not very good at that sort of thing, but even I managed to get them on, so that was fine. What I wasn't so keen on was wiring the connections direct into the ignition loops, because they're, your bike is all electronically wired up in a specific way so that it works. And when you start messing about with it, especially when you're as much of an numpty as I am, it can cause you so many problems. So I was not keen to start snipping wires and plugging other stuff in that wasn't designed for the bike specifically. So I've initially had the heated grips connected directly to the battery, which works. It just means that it's independent of the ignition. So whenever you press a button, they come on, which is fine until you park your bike up somewhere and some kid comes along, starts pressing all the buttons, turns the heat grips on, and you come back and your battery's flat. So I did want to get it installed into the electrics. So this is basically how I did it. Okay, so you're gonna have to excuse me if what I'm saying isn't following precisely what's going on the screen, but I'm having to follow this as I record this on the fly. So here is my heated grip in place. I'm pointing at it now with a bit of wire. Here's the controller. You can see my ignition is off, but when I press a button, it does come on. So that's why it's independent of the ignition at the moment, which is bad. So right, so these are the things that you will need in order to, or these are things that I needed in order to install my heated grips into the wiring sorted properly. So first of all, I've got my Haynes manual, which is sort of useful, which you'll see later on. You got some connectory things, then we've got some snippy things, then we've got some wire stripper things, some plier things, some wiry stuff, blue wiry stuff, some connectory things, and electrical tape. Now, in hindsight, we should have used more than one colour of wire, mainly so that if in the future somebody else is going to be working on the bike, they can see what's going on. But it's fairly straightforward as to what I've actually done, because you can't really confuse the original wiring with what I've created, my chimera of wiring. So, but we'll get on with that now. So first things first is that we've got to find some suitable wiring. So we'll take the seat off and I'll show you how it's wired in, or how I've got it wired in first of all. So as you can see, there's the red wire in the fusey bit, and that's connected straight to the live and to the neutral, and then that black bit goes all the way up to the grips themselves. All my wiring's on the right hand side, and I'm going to use this bit of loom here. It's like eeny meeny miny mo as to which wire I'm going to use, because I don't really know what they do yet. There's also these here, but that's for the petrol tank fuel gauge, I think, so I'm not so sure about that. It's going to be one of these, I reckon. Probably the easiest one. Yeah, one of them. Thumbs up. So what else we got here? Okay, so I'm going to look for this one in my Haynes manual wiring diagram, and it says that it's for the turn signals, the indicators if you're in Britain, and follow through light blue, indicators. So that's the one that I'm gonna splice. This is the relay that I'm going to use. Now I'm just going to talk a bit about relays and why I'm using it. When I was saying that I didn't want to be splicing straight into the electrics, that's true, because you've got your bike is basically a circuit, and it's all designed to work together. And so what the relay does, it creates an extra circuit that is only going to be operated when the main circuit is on. And that's the whole point of the relay, and that's what we're looking to install here. 12 volt 30 amp relay. You can get them in different sizes and pins. I've got 4. This is a 4-pin one. This is all I need. This will do the job. This is, it's fine. It's fine for what I need. So what we're going to do is try and wire that up. So once it's all in place, I'm going to be slotting it down there. I don't finally put it in that way up because that's just silly. It's pointing the other way round when I install it at the last. So now I've snipped the wire, this blue wire, and I've trimmed off the ends. Sorry, it's really bad. Can't really see what I'm looking at there. So, and then what I'm going to do is get some extra wires and crimp the connectors onto them so that we can put that onto the relay. And I've done the same with the live for the heater grips themselves. Look at the mess on my bike. And then what we're going to do is 2 of them go. I don't even know what I'm going to say over this bit. Look, it's the relay again. We'll be connecting all those 4 things up to that with 4 of these. Like I said, we should have used different colours to indicate what we're actually doing, but when it comes down to it, that's what we need to do. So I've connected up with these massive connectors the original wiring together and the heater grips live, and so what we're going to do now is just connect those into the relay. And here it is again. Oh, I love you, relay, you're so yummy. So I've connected it all up. Hang on, I'm going to pause there. Right, so I've connected it all up. It works. Okay, I'm going to show it works now. And now in a minute, the ignition's off. And press a button, nothing happens, which is what we're wanting. The test now is when we turn the ignition on, does it actually work? Okay, so turn the ignition on. Ignition's on. Engine is running. Still off. Press the buttons. Et voila! Lights on. It goes through a test in a second, just before I turn it off. That's what it's supposed to do. There we are. And then turn the ignition off. Thank you. And it goes off and doesn't work. And that's that's what we're after. Now, one problem I've got with my setup here, I tidy all this up with electrical tape. I don't put it in the video. You don't need to see that. But one thing that I had issue with was the Haynes manual said that the wire that I was using was 2 blue wires, light blue and dark blue. Light blue said it goes to the indicators, and when I cut it, it wasn't. It's for the clutch, the neutral engage switch, or light. So now when I've got it in neutral, because of the extra current required to go through the relay, my neutral indicator bulb is really dim. So I'm probably going to change that at some point. Well, I'm saying probably. I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to leave it and work with it because I know that it's in neutral, and I'm probably just going to run the bike till it dies anyway. So I hope that this has been useful to at least a person somewhere, because I was looking for so many different so many different videos on how to actually wire up the heater grips, when all I was finding was how to install them. You know how to install them. Take the old grips off, put those on. What people need to know is how to put it in. If you got any suggestions on how it could have been improved, I'd love to hear it. Help other people out, because this is what YouTube's all about, is making sure that information gets out there. And that's pretty much it. I've been David, you've been awesome, I'll catch you next time, and here's a dinosaur riding a motorcycle running over Liam Neeson.
Hey Liam Neeson, what? Like dinosaurs riding motorcycles? Meow.
Fully. Okay? I'm going to overdub it after, so I'm just showing basically what I'm doing, and then I'll dub it in later.